Most people get one increase in their Social Security payment a year. It's called the cost of living adjustment. But occasionally, a second one comes through, and most people don't know why. In this video, we're going to talk about where that payment comes from and how it affects you. Coming up next on Holy Schmidt.
Holy Schmidt!
Every year in January, Social Security recipients get a cost of living adjustment. Sometimes it's a little, sometimes it's a lot. It depends on what's happening with inflation. But occasionally, they get another increase, and most of the time, they don't know why. And even worse, or better, depending on how you look at it, 4 of the times out of the 5 we're going to talk about don't require you to file any paperwork at all. They just happen. Let's talk about what those are next. Let's get the cost of living adjustment out of the way, not because it's unimportant, but because we need to talk about it so that you can understand the rest. In January of 2026, your cost of living adjustment was 2.8%. That means that your payment year over year went up 2.8% before deductions for things like Medicare Part B. The average payment in 2025 was $2,015 a month. In 2026, $2,071, so the increase was $56. Now, if you receive Medicare, and a lot of people watching this video do, your Medicare Part B payment was very likely deducted from your Social Security payment. The Part B premium increase, by the way, was over 9%, so a lot of people didn't see the full impact of that 2.8% increase. Now, I told you that would be quick. Let's talk about the ones that you don't see coming. The first is the automatic recomputation. Let me explain. An automatic recomputation happens for a number of reasons, but the most likely is that you're still working while collecting Social Security and you're underneath the earnings limits, but you're over what would have been a bad earnings year back in the day. Social Security takes your best 35 years and uses those 35 years as the basis for your Social Security payment after adjusting them into today's dollars with an inflation adjuster. And so if your current earnings while you're collecting Social Security are higher than one of the old ones, well, then your payment goes up automatically. More importantly, if you had zeros in your history and you didn't have 35 years of work history, well, even your modest income today replaces those zeros with something. And that will also drive the payment up. If you were out of the workforce because you were raising a family or taking care of a sick loved one, and you have zeros, you don't have 35 years, those payments from working today fill those zeros with something. And this is technically called the automatic earnings reappraisal operation. Sounds like a military exercise. It's not. Basically, what happens is after your determination for your increase is done this year or in the year, a second pass is made to see if there's a change in your earnings history. And then that adjustment is made. And by the way, there's a built-in lag. If you had earnings in 2025, for example, you might not see that affect your check until mid-year 2026, simply because it takes time to process. So you get your cost of living adjustment automatically in January, and then you get a retroactive payment about mid-year for the months that the increase existed, and your payment is larger from that point forward. So how much are we talking about? Usually about $20 or $30 a month. It's nothing significant, but it's better than nothing. And if you're replacing 0 years, it might be a bit higher than that. Now, the fact is it all adds up. And if you continue to work and replace 0 years with earnings years, that's $20 to $30 a month for every year that you continue on. The only caveat to this point here, and it's important that I mention it, is that there is an earnings test in 2026 if you earn more than $24,480 in a given year, or if this is your first year working, $2,040 a month, then you will have to give part of the excess back to the SSA. So if you're going to use this strategy, use it wisely. Make sure that you don't exceed the earnings limits, or the benefit that you get in a larger payment is going to be taken away by the fact that you've earned too much and you have to give back part of your payment to the SSA. Speaking of Social Security and Medicare payments being taken out of Social Security, gang, Medicare can be confusing. It can be overwhelming. Ask anybody who's age 65 or older, and they will tell you that this is true. They'll spend hours of time looking at and analyzing all of the plans. They'll make a choice, and they'll make the wrong choice, costing them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a year. Now, on this channel, we have 3 affiliate relationships. One is our trusted Medicare partner, Chapter. Chapter is the only national advisor that looks at and recommends every plan. They're totally free to you. It doesn't cost you more in premium, nothing like that. They're really good people to work with, and it takes about 20 minutes of your time. If this is of interest to you, give them a call at 440-703-1224 to see if they can help. The third is something called delayed retirement credits, and that's when you wait to claim Social Security. Your payment goes up because you waited to claim Social Security. You get less payments, but the payments are larger. People can wait to claim Social Security anywhere from age 62 to age 70, and assuming that full retirement age is age 67, that means that any time you wait beyond full retirement age, you get an extra 8% per year for waiting. Conversely, if you take it before full retirement age, it goes down. The lowest it will go down to, if your full retirement age is age 67, is 70% of your full retirement age payment. That happens if you take Social Security at age 62. So let's put some real numbers on it. Let's say that your benefit at full retirement age was $2,000 a month, but you decided to wait, and you decided to wait until age 70. That means that you get an extra 8% per year, so 3 years. That's 124% of $2,000. That's an extra $480 a month or $2480 per month. And a side note, if you decide to wait until after full retirement age to claim Social Security, your delayed retirement credits don't happen automatically, at least for that year. They happen later, and you get a catch-up payment. In plain terms, the SSA doesn't measure your payment increase continuously. They do it closer to the end of the year, and they give it to you later. Picture someone who claimed partway through the year at age 69. Their first several checks reflect only the credits they earned through the end of the prior year. Then January arrives, and two things happen at the same time. The annual cost of living adjustment raises every beneficiary's check, and the delayed credits from the last partial year finally get added to the person's benefit. 2 increases, 1 month. There is one clean exception, and that is if you wait until age 70, the SSA generally gives you your full increase right away. You don't wait for a January catch-up because there's nothing left to catch up. But for everyone who claims in that window between full retirement age and 70, the January stack is real, and it catches people off guard every single year. Next up is if you've had your benefits withheld because you've earned too much, the earnings limit. Once you reach full retirement age, your payment is recalculated, and you get the benefit of having to give part of your payment back to the SSA. In 2026, if you're under full retirement age for the entire year, Social Security holds back $1 for every 2 you earned over the $24,480 limit. In the calendar year you'd actually reach full retirement age, the limit is much higher, $65,160, and the withholding is gentler, $1 for every $3 over the limit. Once you reach full retirement age, the earnings test goes away completely, and you can earn as much as you want. You can earn $1 billion a year. It doesn't matter. They won't withhold anything. But the withholdings are what they give you back in the form of a higher Social Security payment. Here's a quick example. Let's say that you were laid off and you were confident you weren't going to have another job. A year and a half goes by and your old boss calls you up and says, look, it wasn't my call, but I do have an opportunity for you. I'm at a new company now and they need somebody just like you. Now you have a problem because you've been receiving Social Security and you have a job or a potential job. So what happens? Well, you take the job, a lot of people would anyway, and you start to give back part of your Social Security payment. Let's say that the job pays $44,480 in a year. You're under full retirement age. That's $20,000 over the $24,480 limit. Social Security would withhold $10,000 for the year, $1 for every $2 over. Now you've got $10,000 credited to your account for the future. And if this happens every year until you reach full retirement age, you have a lot more than $10,000 credited to your account. Once you reach full retirement age, your payment goes up. Next up is the loss of a spouse, the survivor benefit. Now, the first 4 we talked about were triggered by an event, and when the payment goes up, it's generally a happy thing. This one, not so much. In fact, I debated whether to include this one or not because it's not a happy thing, but the information is very important. The survivor benefit happens when a spouse dies, and people are rarely ready for this. With the survivor benefit, the monthly income can go up significantly, but people rarely understand how it works, and that's why I've decided to include it. Here's how it works, in plain terms. When someone passes in a relationship, the survivor gets the larger of the 2 payments. If their payment was higher than the deceased, then they keep that payment. If it wasn't, then they get the larger payment. They don't get both benefits here, and that's a critical point. The survivor benefit is an either-or benefit. You either get your benefit or the survivor benefit. You don't get both. And here's the part that makes it really powerful. If the deceased never claimed Social Security, the SSA gives you the larger of what they would have received at full retirement age, 100% of their Social Security payment, or delayed retirement credits up to the date of passing. So if they've never filed, then the number can be reasonably large. Conversely, if they filed, that becomes the base for the survivor benefit that is adjusted for the age of the spouse when he or she files for the survivor benefit. If the survivor is under full retirement age, then the survivor benefit is reduced. If they're at full retirement age or higher, then they get the full benefit. And there's a provision in here called the widow's limit, which actually raises it beyond what the deceased had under certain circumstances. Usually it's if they filed at age 62 or approximately age 62. The SSA gives you a bump up if certain things happen. That's beyond the scope of this video. And by the way, this one isn't automatic like the others we talked about. The Social Security Administration needs to be notified, and the survivor needs to file for survivor benefits. Gang, if you're unsure about some of the elements of Social Security, I created a one-page Social Security quick guide for you. It's one page, it's easy to use, it's totally free. Simply go to holyschmidt.com/quick guide, and you can get your one-page Social Security quick guide instantly. So here's what to take away from all of this. First, expect the cost of living adjustment every January. That's automatic. But watch your Medicare adjustment too, because if Medicare Part B grows faster than Social Security, the increase won't be the size that you think it is. If you're still working and you've had a few bad years out of your top 35 in the past, know that the SSA will use your current earnings to adjust your Social Security payment upward. If you delayed past full retirement age, know that your top-up is coming in the January after you file for Social Security, not at the concurrent time, unless you were age 70 when you filed for your benefits. If you claimed early and then subsequently got another job and you had to give part of your Social Security payment back, know that that comes back to you at full retirement age. It's an increase beyond what you were entitled to up until that point. And know the survival rules before you need them. This is particularly important if one spouse delays claiming Social Security. The simplest habit that will help you with most of this is to check your earnings record once a year at ssa.gov. If you like this video, check out that video. The biggest driver of the size of your Social Security check isn't when you claim. Also, if you have questions about Medicare, don't forget to give our partner Chapter a call, 440-703-1224. This is Jeff Schmidt, and I will see you in that video right there.